Hello, welcome to another video from the fanpub.com. Got Shaw with me.
As always, great to be here, Al. And this video is focused on
Basically, on the back of Andrew Luck retiring,
yeah,
I'm gonna ask Sean basically what effect it's gonna have on Marlon Mack, Hilton, Funches, Jack Doyle, Eric Ebron.
Yeah, okay. That's a good question. Okay.
What's the relevance for fantasy? Because there is obviously a big.
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, we can, you'll hear counter arguments on this, but I think if you're drafting like now, as of just before watching this video, just after watching this video, or later just before the NFL starts, then the repercussions are going to be massive, and I think we have to take a step back and really think about it carefully. And so my view is simply this. The Jacoby Brissett that we saw in 2017, we saw none of it in 2018, really. So we don't know what Jacoby Brissett we're going to actually get. He did very well when he came in.
He's steady, if not spectacular, isn't he?
Right. So the first thing is he's okay, right? Do I think he's a supreme quarterback? Do I think he's an elite top 32 quarterback? No, I don't. I think the team have been left in a desperate situation, and you have to put next man up. Is this his opportunity to shine? Yes, it is. This is his chance. So this is his moment to seize the big deal.
Is he good enough to do that?
No, I don't think he is. I think
he's okay though, isn't he?
I think he's steady. I think the ramifications are massive. T.Y. Hilton's career was already heading the wrong way. That's been obvious last year. It started to head the wrong way.
Do you think it'd be kind of devastating for someone like T.Y. Hilton? He's coming to the
terrible.
twilight of his career.
Yeah, it's really hard. I mean,
he's lost the golden goose. He's throwing him all the passes.
Yeah, it hurts. I mean, the fallout from Luck affects everybody, and I don't think that's lost on the players. I mean, when Luck has talked the way he's talked about how he's been hurt, I can tell you as a wide receiver, the last thing you want to see is your quarterback getting knocked over because it affects you. I'm not being horrible, but they're prima donnas anyway, so they know the score. This isn't the same. So there are impacts. So there's another impact as well. So those people, and people often say, why draft early? Well, you have to, because there were also rookie drafts that probably took place in April and May. People took assumptions based
people
on
drafted all the time.
Assumptions based on what was going to happen. So if you're like me, I got a share of this guy. This will impact him. Paris Hilton. Impact for this year? 0. Forget it.
Paris Hilton? I don't think.
Sorry, not Paris.
Paris Campbell.
Paris Campbell.
Or T.Y. Hilton. Paris Hilton. Probably not affected.
I'm sorry, Paris Hilton. I do apologise. He's here now, but that's a story for another
Unless
time.
he's staying in hotels.
But he's affected him, isn't it? He's definitely affected. So he may not have any fantasy impact for this year. Hilton's will, might as well knock him 2 rounds back on any draft board. I think you have to seriously move that back. And don't think for 1 minute the running game, it's going to be a big improvement for the running back. It's going to get more work. That depends on game script, and that may not be a very pleasant game
Well, they're
script.
going to score less. I mean, it's a fact they're going to score less because they're not going to move the ball as well.
Tight ends, 12 touchdowns. Ebron, forget all that. Jack Doyle, maybe one of them benefits slightly. You try picking the bones out of which one. But nobody's benefiting 12 touchdowns.
Look, did target the tight end, but will Brissett? You just don't know.
Is Brissett going to give you an average of 28.5 touchdowns a year? No. Can he give you 20, 22? Possibly. And that's a big if. And then who's the beneficiary of that 22? And that's a big if. I mean, that's a big if. So, no, I don't want none of it now.
I think it makes T.Y. Hilton extremely volatile.
I feel sorry for him.
He's going to have big weeks. I remember him playing with Brissett a couple of years ago.
He got 2 150-yard games.
Yeah, but then he had 2 10-yard games. Yeah. So it makes him really inconsistent. I don't think you can rely on Brissett yet. Maybe that'll change and you can watch how it goes during the season. But
at this stage,
it has to affect Mack. It has to affect Naheem Hines, who's catching the ball out of the backfield.
At this stage, it's massive. And I just don't want anything to do with it right now because there are too many unknowns, and I think the worst part is the way the Colts have handled this. They've probably known for a while that he was retiring, yet they kept telling you he's going to come back and play Luck. I don't know what that says to the rest of the team. I've got no idea how the mental fallout of this, and not only that, it gets me questioning their actual. Are they targeting a early 2020 pick? Do they really care about the team? Players are going to start asking those questions.
Well, I'll tell you who won't be targeting an early pick will be Jacoby Brissett because with having Tua probably as an early pick next year. There's a few good quarterbacks, isn't there?
He'll want to lay down a marker, whether it's for the Colts or someone else, that he's a good quarterback. If he can do a serviceable job, he'll get a job. He'll get a job because that's the way the NFL is. We've got a lot of players at the end of their career and a lot of new players. And a lot of new players doesn't always translate to greatness. It just means there are a lot of new quarterbacks, and it's an interesting road. Quarterback's a tough road. So yeah, watch this space. But certainly for me, there isn't anything in that offense that I'm targeting, particularly not in fantasy. I wasn't really before, if I'm honest, but particularly not now. I mean, the only player I would have ever given any consideration to is Andrew Luck, but he was always going too high for my blood. Now, unfortunately, he's gone. So
luckily we didn't put out any.
Yeah, it's a shame. I love the player.
Target Andrew Luck videos.
Love the player, great deal, great player. Respect for the retiring as well.
Yeah, so basically, it's the whole stock of Indianapolis Colts has to go down, including the defense, because they're going to be on the field ball. You know, and it's a shame, but that's just
for you,
the reality of the situation.
For someone like yourself, this is probably in some ways is good news, because you're more of a kind of guy who likes to pounce when people misjudge the value of the stock, and maybe the stock lowers so far down it's worth something.
Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah,
it's fantastic news.
Everyone has their price.
Everybody has a price for our. Whereas me, I'm more no, they don't. So we're very interested in that way. Some players just not on the list.
You say no, you don't, but you just said you'd not Hilton back 2 rounds, so you do.
I do, but I still probably wouldn't draft it, I'll be honest.
Yeah, I know, it's hard.
It's not my cup of tea for this year. Sorry, too inconsistent. I like consistency in fantasy, not
we get these decisions as drafters. You have to make a call on it yourself. But
it reaches the very simple point with a situation like this for me. Can this situation breed consistency? Obviously, clearly the opposite word is clear, so it's inconsistency, so I don't want nothing to do with it.
It really hurts Mack, who could have had a really big year, I think. And he still could have an alright year, but it's going to hurt.
Well, it hurts everybody. I mean, look at Naeem
time.
Hines, useless. I mean, not the same. I mean, maybe he will be the outlet valve for Jacoby Brissett, maybe. But these are all maybes.
Yeah, weirdly, he might be the beneficiary.
He could be the beneficiary. So
we just don't know.
Could be in a lot of chasing games. I just don't want nothing to do with it.
You're looking at uncertainty, and that as a drafter is never good.
Not in fantasy.
I'd stick to this sure thing unless they fall far enough.
Yeah, agreed.
I mean, let us know where you'd be drafting players like Hilton and Ebron and
how far have they got to fall before
Mack.
you're interested?
Yeah, let us know down in the comments. If you've enjoyed the video, please leave a like, and thanks very much for watching.
See you on the next one.